In a world where comics, movies, games, rumors, and Kardashians come at you 24/7, 3 champions will rise to defend you from wasting precious time, money, and emojis. BK, Nate, and Derreck will show you how to do it the player way.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, this is your boy BK. It's on once again, Patron once again. It's Friday, which means it is time for the Player Way Podcast. Hosted by myself and my co-captains, Derreck.
Mr. Corrupting the System. That Mr. Son of a...
And Nate.
I don't even know what anything you said was, to be honest with you.
Gibberish.
All
More
right,
than
yes,
likely it was just gibberish. That's all I'd be talking.
Exactly. Well, we are the premier spoiler cast, blitzcast, fill in the blank cast, but it is the Friday cast. We are, for season 2, recording and distributing on Fridays, so you have the opportunity to get the full strength of our perspective on what's going down this weekend, or every weekend. And this weekend, we are greeted by the League. The League indeed. The League of Justice, not the League of Shadows, but the League of Justice. Justice League is now in theaters, and it is killing me not to spoil everything. But we're going to jump right into it. So guys, you guys are going to be seeing it this weekend. I'm going out with my coworkers tonight. What are your expectations, guys?
I'm hoping to be entertained. I'm pretty psyched for it, to be completely honest with you. But I'm going in with low expectations, or not very high ones. Not very low
Lowered
either.
Expectations.
I guess a good amount that isn't too high or too low, but that little sweet spot in the middle in terms of expectations.
Derreck?
I totally agree. I have lower expectations because it's DC, and I am just very curious of this Dr. Frankenstein of a movie, how it's going to come together, especially with the certain characters not developed, certain characters are developed, certain characters are being introduced, friends become enemies, everyone might be richer because of the experience. Born to be wild, it came down here to Earth, the door is open. He's coming! He's coming! He's coming! And there's nothing you can do to stop him. That delicious scene of... the delicious scene of the Riddler in the jail. I mean, Alexander Luthor in jail cell talking about he's coming. It's coming to fruition, so... all this groundwork and everything has me extremely excited. I just unfortunately have to bring down my expectations just because I'm not sure. But, I mean, hey, it's a superhero movie. I applaud the efforts of someone taking the pages of a comic book to try to animate it, let alone put it on the big screen, a story as ginormous as anything to do with the exalted Super Friends. And, we'll just see what we got. I mean, we know what the blueprint is. We know what the formula for success is. We know that they're trying to go ahead and adjust this down that path. So we'll see. What's the tail of the tape, B?
Well, the tail of the tape is what we're going to do here on the Playway Podcast for this episode. Is we're going to give you some fun facts on how you kind of should get yourself ready. As Nate alluded to, one of the biggest follies of the DCEU up till now is they've really oversold and overpromised. And so what they've decided to is take a little bit out of customer service, client service 101, and underpromise and overdeliver. So what we're going to do is get you guys in the right mind state so that you can do the movie, Derreck.
The Player Way.
Indeed. All right. So, first things first, here's some fun facts to kind of let you know what the climate has been. So heading into the spring production time of Justice League, it was rumored that there were some
the springtime of their youth.
He's so stupid. Shout out
Sorry,
to Mike
man,
the
I'm
guy.
sorry.
Shout out to
Mike
Mike the guy. The springtime of your youth. Yeah, but anyway.
That handsome blue beast of the hidden.
Yeah. Exactly. But anyway.
There's something suspicious.
About that gourd.
All right. I'm sorry, man.
Shout out all right. Anyway, so what we ended up finding out last year is around that time that it was announced that Zack Snyder was having some family issues, it was also rumored that a cut of the movie had been shown to all of the producers and the studio heads. And from there on, there came a mandate to make the final cut of the movie, less than 2 hours. So when that kind of rumor came out, it was like, wait a minute, what are they going to be cutting from the movie? What's going on? This movie is that long that the studio had to mandate that it was less than 2 hours. And then, after that, we then got the news that the man behind the original Avengers film was coming on. Any guesses? Anybody remember who that guy was? Joss Whedon.
JW.
Exactly. Joss Whedon was brought in, and he was supposed to kind of save things. And at first, it was just he was going to kind of help finish, but then there were rumors going out that there was more to it than that. And one of the things I was able actually to confirm this week, apparently, according to the Screen Actors Guild, it is contracted there that in order to get a screenwriter credit, you have to write at least 30% of the screenplay. According to the early reviewers of this film, Joss Whedon is credited as a screenwriter for this film. That
means at least a third. At least
30% of the film has been rewritten when he came on.
And I would venture to say more than that, and that's only been in the last 5 months, if that.
Yeah, that was at least in the last few months. Okay,
that's a lot of reshoots.
July, at least since July. That's a lot, dude. Something that also came out is that apparently Jesse Eisenberg had a scene or a couple of scenes as Lex Luthor in the movie. They were cut out of this version. It seems like they're going to save Lex Luthor as a character for the upcoming Man of Steel 2, which has been confirmed is going to be happening. So that's definitely interesting there.
Wait, are you telling me that Superman might not be dead? That's such a huge spoiler.
What?
I don't know if I can
No, Derek, you don't understand. No, you don't understand.
No, he died.
He's definitely dead. No, just caskets have their own gravity and orbit. Okay, so the little rocks that raised from.
All right, for a
he
second
wasn't
there,
raising from the dead. It's just gravity works differently. When it comes
around.
to yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean,
okay. For a second there, I thought he was the one that appeared next to Alfred in the trailer,
bro. And if you think rocks act really weird in Kansas, just imagine how they act in Nazareth, dude. Or so I've heard. So anyway, rolling right along, we also got a couple of reactions about the early reactions. There was a embargo put on by reviewers of the film, and so the embargo actually was lifted as of Wednesday before this podcast. And so what we're going to do is read a couple of those things. Early reactions, according to Collider, one quote is, "A mixed bag, but a step in the right direction." Another one is, "People who think the DCEU is too dark, get ready to see the light." Another one story is, "Super thin, weak CGI, but has heart and a whole lot of fun. More coherent than Batman vs. Superman and tries hard to lighten up the doom and gloom." Another quote is simply, "Villain is weak." Yeah. And the final, "Film is rushed due to the 120-minute mandate." So, based on what we've heard, okay, what do you guys expect to be the high points of the film?
Wonder Woman, Flash, and Aquaman.
Yes! I predicted what Nate... I have a magical envelope on this side, and I am going to open it up. Tearing open the envelope.
Oh, yeah.
And inside the envelope is exactly what Nate was going to predict. Wonder Woman, Flash,
and Aquaman.
I thought it was going to be Cyborg. My bad. I said Cyborg.
I'm sure Cyborg will be fun, but I mean, just judging from all of the, you guys love marketing, but everything seems to highlight Aquaman, Flash and Wonder Woman. I think, Warner Brothers has to have the expectations of this being $1 billion movie, especially with how much they spent on reshoots. And I think anything less will probably look like a failure in their eyes. And they've already set the backup plan in case it is with, Flashpoint coming out. So, I mean, if it is a success, I'm curious to see where they'll take the DCEU. Obviously you got to get rid of old Batman because you can't have 15 years of franchise running on 50-year-old Batman.
Nope.
And Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Flash seem to be...
Unless we're going to see a Terry McGinnis.
No.
Oh, I would love to see a Terry McGinnis film.
People probably would. People probably would, but, I don't think Hollywood is quite ready to replace Bruce Wayne as Batman.
Well, speaking of Hollywood, what was also said is, there were some rumors about Leonardo DiCaprio possibly going to be playing the Joker. And there's actually a little truth to what gave that wings, that whole rumor. Apparently what the DCEU is doing, because Warner Brothers has a lot more control of their properties than Marvel has, they have a lot more flexibility in how to play with the characters. And to attract movie stars like Leonardo DiCaprio, DiCaprio is not one, doesn't need to sign a franchise film contract in order to be. He wants to be able to play. Guys like him are going to want to be able to come and play one role and then move on with their career. And just kind of like how Heath Ledger did. So it's one of those things where
I don't think he really had a choice, did he?
Like, what career? After this, I want to pursue my career of pushing up daisies.
Yes. So
and not the quirky TV show Pushing Up Daisies either.
I like that reference though, because that was actually a really good show. But anyway, moving along.
It was.
Yes, exactly. Moving right along. To attract, they have the
you cold-blooded.
Has the ability. Cold-blooded. The DCEU, along with Warner Brothers Studios, they have the ability to do whatever they want. So they are going to be playing with the otherworld idea. So you may see a movie as a one-off that has nothing to do with the DCEU. At first, we thought that this was a dumb idea, but now, after mentioning what they're trying to do to attract those Academy Award-winning stars, that makes a lot of sense. So, if we saw a Leonardo DiCaprio helmed Joker film, I mean, how could we lose? How could it be bad?
I trust in just about
dress
everything
him up
he
in
does.
Tattoos. Put some.
No. No. I don't need to see his grill.
Chit-chat is going to get you
his
hurt.
grill.
Oh, yes.
It's some of the more popular in the comics. Some of the most popular stories are these stories called Elseworld stories. They're set in parallel universes. Like they have Gotham by Gaslight coming out on animated video soon, but that's a pretty famous Batman story. Things like that. So I can see them doing that with their movie universe as almost trying to test out which waters will work in terms of building a universe.
And then can always pull the ripcord on Flashpoint to reset it all.
Exactly.
Like hit that Days of Future Past. You know what I mean?
You don't announce a Flashpoint movie without saying, "Hey, we're resetting." I mean, that's the whole point of that story. Yep. I mean, it's to reset the universe, and there's certain changes that happen because of that. Oh my gosh, Batman's young again. Aw.
Apparently, Batman was born 10 years later, just because the Flash, who was younger than him, reset the whole universe. So, things like that can happen.
Yeah.
All right, so resetting the universe. These early reviews, are pretty much optimistic, which I'm really excited about. we talk a lot about the heart, humor, and spectacle, or whatever you call it, of did I get it right, Nate?
Mm-hmm. Heart, humor, and spectacle. You sure did.
Okay, good. Good. Okay. So the heart, humor, and spectacle, that is coined by Nate right here on the Playaway Podcast.
Woo! Hard knocks. Cheap pops.
Exactly. That's something that Marvel has, and they do really well, and it makes it really difficult to be a lover of DC's movies, and it also helps that they make crappy ones sometimes too. Shout out to Amanda Waller and her crew. Hope you guys are doing well, and for me to poop on. But anyway, it's.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But speaking of,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Speaking of the Squad of Suicide, the rumor now is that The Rock's Black Adam will debut in Suicide Squad 2, which makes perfect sense because they're the right ones to stop him if necessary.
What?
Captain Boomerang,
What? Did you just break some news right here on this Friday?
Well, I mean,
what?
These rumors...
Where'd you get that from? What's your source on that?
Comicbook.com.
Oh, my goodness.
Because people have been wondering when Black Adam would debut. He announced his casting, I want to say a year and a half ago. He's not coming in
Black Adam is going to be the villain? He's going to be the villain in Suicide Squad.
That's what the rumors are.
Villain,
yeah.
or one of them.
Oh, wow. That's disappointing.
Well, he's certainly not going to debut in Shazam. So, I mean, where else? I would think Man of Steel 2 would be a fitting debut because...
That's what I thought he was going to be doing, because that's what they were alluding to with them having lunch at Henry Cavill's house or whatever it was.
Maybe.
So I thought that's what I thought. Maybe Man of Steel 2 is actually Suicide Squad 2.
Dawn of Justice. Suicide 2, Dawn of Justice.
Brunch of Justice.
Yeah. Dawn of Justices.
Day of Justice.
Afternoon.
Secret of the Justices.
Right,
Tea time for justices.
This was from 6 days ago. Suicide Squad 2 has probably found its writer and director and warrior in the accountants Gavin O'Connor. Yada, yada, yada. According to the Wrap, 2 studios insiders told him that Suicide Squad 2 will see the squad tasked with tracking down a weapon of mass destruction. That weapon, Black Adam, The Rock himself.
That might not be bad.
Yeah.
That might not. So he's the MacGuffin.
The Rock even teased back in May they have a really cool surprise for Black Adam that he can't reveal, but yeah,
I can actually see that. Now him being a MacGuffin, I could kind of see that. That's actually not a bad idea. Him coming in and kind of saying he's not really in the movie until the very end. Them going into pyramids and stuff.
Maybe they'll dress him up in tattoos.
Put Brendan Fraser in there.
Yeah.
Put Brendan Fraser in there.
Maybe.
The Mummy 13. The Mummy 13, Dawn of Justices.
Yeah, Suicide Squad 2, the
Week
Curse
of
of the
Justice.
Mummy's Tomb.
The Week of Justices.
Yeah.
The Season of Justice. There's got to be Justices. Justices.
Black Adam.
Like Darknesses. Justices.
They should have never gave you
Heroes money.
Have a side plot of Joker trying to save Harley from fucking Egypt or wherever the fuck they're going to be.
Dude, have Shazam in there and Black Adam call him
biggest boss, and I've been to Trillis.
Twin Brother Justices.
Shazam was cast like a few days ago as Chuck.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw some. Go ahead and announce who that is on here, man.
It's gonna be the guy that played Chuck. I can't remember his name right now. I want to say it's Zach something.
Yeah,
he was one of the Warriors 3 and Thor
Chuck,
2 and Thor 3.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He really had a major glow up. I mean, he really started hitting the gym, man.
Hey,
so yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, I enjoyed Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck is one of those series that started off really stupid and had a really good payoff. It had a really good cult following by the end of it.
Yeah,
it was such a weird starting of a show. It was like a show. It was like Seinfeld, but with like espionage. It was like it had no plot to it at first.
Yeah. And that's all we have to say about
so
that.
he should fit right into the DC universe.
All right, well,
is what you're saying.
Chuck was
there.
yeah. That's how great Chuck was apparently.
Yeah.
Conversation. So
good.
back to Justice League. Speaking of killing conversations,
Call those
Justice
an e-break.
So I think it's time for us to go ahead and get a gentleman's bet going. Derek, can you please? Wow. Take two.
That's good.
Derek, can you please bring up Box Office Mojo and give us some stats about how Thor has done up until this point?
Absolutely. Because it is the number one superhero movie in the world right now, and it's killing it. Even this past, as of right now, we'll go worldwide based on Nate at 652 million already. The thing came out November 3rd, and so we're looking at two full weeks, and it's climbing. So I'm pretty sure even by the time people check this one out, it'll be even higher than that. But
Where's
yeah,
it
it's just
domestic?
it's just over 200 million domestically right now. I'm pretty sure it'll be closer to 250 by the end of this weekend.
Gotcha.
But
okay. Did you say that and I totally just didn't hear it?
Yeah, no worries, man.
Yeah,
no.
Shout out to me for listening.
No, I as much as I would like to take that, I know that when you're doing your powerful editing, you're going to be like, he didn't say it, and I'm going to get a business. So I'm going to go ahead and fess up and say that I didn't say the domestic yet, and I started with worldwide. I'm going to fess
nice.
up. I'm going to fess up.
Worldwide.
So,
because look, Derek and I have known each other a long time. I have a tendency to just stop listening. Like, I have a tendency to be thinking about the next thing I'm going to say.
Yeah,
and completely
exactly.
tune everybody else out.
Yeah.
He's saying you only have about 40% of his attention right now.
Because look, my secret superpower is if I ever pay 100% attention, a large dog will come from the moon and transport me to Hawaii.
No. You ain't gonna
shout out to Will Smith. No.
Do you think do you think Justice will have a better opening weekend just because it's been so amped up for so long?
I think. So
compared to
Nate.
Thor,
yeah, go ahead, Nate.
I mean, that's Dawn of Justice opened to I want to say 170,
something stupid.
Wonder Woman opened to 100 something.
I can definitely see this about at least 150. I feel like at least.
Yeah, I think people will be riding high off of Wonder Woman still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say man.
But I expect that second
150.
week drop off to be enormous.
I was gonna say 125.
It really depends on how good the reviews are. It's not getting Thor Ragnarok reactions.
Not even close. Even some of the reviews that DK was reading did not invoke confidence.
Yeah.
You know,
it was fun. Also, it wasn't marketed nearly as well as Thor Ragnarok. I mean, it's been kind of weird in how it's promoted.
Because it's been a different movie.
I was watching Thor Ragnarok and I saw a trailer and it said November. Let alone we are in November already, but it did not have a date. It just said November. I was like, okay, you guys want to tell us when this thing's coming out so we can actually plan on seeing it? Or do you want us to just happenstance upon it? Oh, wait a minute. Apparently Justice League is in theaters now. Guys, would you like to rally around the family with a bucket full of shells? Would you like to do that?
Whoa!
Are we giving ranges?
Yeah. So
are we going to
ovens? We're giving ovens, microwaves, as well as dishwashers.
Are we going to give a range, or are we just going to do one number?
I mean, I said 125.
Oof.
Oh,
that seems
and as he sips his drink, in which I'm sure I'm gonna go 150. Man, it's Justice League. Everybody's coming together on the screen. They've gone all out
together.
Boom, boom, boom. So I'm gonna stay around 150. If not better, but I feel like 150 will be low.
Go on, Nate.
Would it be shiesty if I say 120?
Yeah, it's believable.
If I can say, I think I'll go with 120.
Exactly. So you're saying 120 as Derek
I 20
the soundtrack. I 20. So 120 from you, Derek. You said what now?
150.
150, and I said 125. All right. So what are the terms of the gentleman's bet? We're doing it right, ladies and gentlemen. We are.
There's
doing
always
this live.
bravado and bragging rights. There's always bravado and bragging rights. That really carries a lot of weight. Honestly, let's be honest. That carries a lot of weight because we will use whoever wins as a reference point for how much we know more than the other guys. Always. I mean, that's how I do this.
Hold on, wait, guys, hold on. I got some people off mic.
Back them up.
Who are ready to pounce
get them out
all
the
over
shot,
me.
dude.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I know you guys. Yes, I know he needs to know. I get it, guys. Okay, Derek. The Peanut Gallery is saying that bragging rights is just not enough. Bragging rights was a terrible WWE pay-per-view. That's why it never lasted. No one cares about bragging rights. They want results. Let's get it. Where's the SummerSlam at? Let's bring the world down.
So, all right. So, what do you guys want to do when y'all lose?
I was about to take a sip of water, and you almost made me spit all over my microphone. Pause.
Oh, phrasing. So much. Please. No, I'm jumping out the plane. I'm out the plane.
Nate, you name one. We Derek and I usually make them up. What do you want to do?
I mean, I don't know.
The whole Kraken on air.
The what?
I said the whole Kraken on air.
Kraken. The sea monster?
I can do. Okay, that's not a bad idea.
It was
Why
actually
not?
referring.
All right.
You'll get it, Nate. You'll get it, Nate.
Yes.
Go
the
ahead.
next. All right. So whoever loses, the other two guys that lose have to do shots during the next podcast.
May I sweeten the deal?
Go ahead and sweeten the deal.
And I want this to be discussed between you guys because you two guys are going to be the ones that are doing it. I would say for every 5 million you're off is the exponent of shots.
Okay.
So like if it comes in at 135, you're 10 million off. So you have to at least do 3 shots, 1 for being off, and then 2 for each 5 million that you're off.
And let me sweeten the deal even more.
I was going to say per million, but I feel like that's a little too.
For the millions and millions. Shout out to Derek. You are the true MVP for helping me out there, assist. But
I
here's
try to
what's
be a
going on.
soundboard every now and then.
Alley-oop, indeed. So here's what we're going to do. And whoever wins gets to name when the shots are taken during the next podcast.
And the liquor of choice is also chosen by the winner?
Let's do it.
All right. Closest without going over, correct?
Price is Right rules.
Or do you just
Always.
want to say the closest within 1 million? Well, y'all are within 5 million. That's hard for me.
It's Price is Right rules, man.
Yeah,
Closest
anything over
without
126.
going over.
Anything over 126 is mine. Anything over 125 million and 1 penny is mine. I'm just gonna.
Exactly. There you go. 125 and 1 penny. I'm cool with that. You got to do it to the nearest dollar though. So
All right,
125 and $1.
And $1.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
All right. So Nate is you said 120.
I think I'm gonna go with 120.
I'm 125, and Derek is 125 and 1 cent.
Yeah.
A man who loves to live dangerously. There.
That's right. I'm on the edge. Even though, I threw out 150. I threw out 150 at least.
Okay, and if we're all off, if we all are over,
What constitutes it's off? Oh, over and it does way worse?
no, it does way better.
Okay, so like if
If it does
like
worse, yeah, you're right. Yes, you're right. If we're off, so if it's like 115 or like 119 and 999, all that, all them nines. You know what I'm saying? all them ducats,
all them ducats,
all the hoods,
all of them.
all them. Everybody look. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay, so yeah, so if we all are over, we all have to participate.
Then who?
What's the
who picks?
So anything less than what Nate threw out there means we all lose?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're proposing? Anything less than what
we
Nate...
all lose. Yes, we all lose.
Before I agree to this technically means even if it was 140, wait, you're just saying just Nate, not less than what each of us get.
No, less than Nate.
Okay. All right. Anything less than 120, we all drink. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. We all drink. Fireball. I'm
down with that.
All right, that's good.
All right, so anything below Nate, phrasing, we get, we all drink, and if it's between, what if it's between?
So what? Yeah, what if I say it's 100? Anything? What if I change my? I mean, I'm not saying I'm doing this, but if I change my name or my number to 100 million, anything? I got a 20 million gap there that I can play around with, right?
No, because anything less than 120 means we all drink.
No, but if I had changed my number to 100.
I feel that the bet would. I feel that regardless, the bet would be whoever picks the least. Like whoever picks the least, if it's less than that, we would still all have to drink. So whether you pick 100, however, it gives you more of a chance, though, Nate. It gives you kind of a buffer
without going over.
Okay.
Nate,
right.
You there? Good. Okay.
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 You on the plane?
To the bad guy.
I'm down with that.
If only we could fly. Never mind. Shout out to Limp Bizkit.
John Otto, take it to the mouth, dude.
All right. So,
we're done.
Across the
Can
board,
you feel it?
the Playaway Podcast, we recommend that you go see Justice League. If you are wanting to see Justice League, or if you are going to see Justice League because your boyfriend or your man is dragging you there, then you are doing movies
the player way.
Indeed. Shout out to D. He is doing voiceovers
the way.
Hold on, let me get that one again. That file was corrupted.
The player way.
Oh, he brought it all together. Say no, that's the player way.
Exactly.
Hey,
all right, now
so I feel like the horse with Justin is getting put out to pasture, but I did want to ask you, BK, if we are about to hop on any segues, or are we hopping on any segues right now?
We are hopping on a most murderous segue because we're going back. Yes, we are going back.
Is this what you're doing when you get home?
You already know.
Is this what you're doing when you get home?
Go ahead and do it, bro.
Because I know what I'm watching when I get home after Justice League.
Do it for the Vine.
I ain't gonna do it.
Do it for the Vine.
I ain't gonna do it.
All right, then do it for the podcast then, bro.
All right, we'll do it for the podcast when we get to see our boy Frank Castle in a very strategic placement. And honestly, I'm excited that the Punisher's coming out. I'm a little curious about the timing of it, not only in direct contrast with Justice League, which that's awesome, but also just with kind of what's been happening in our country. I know that kind of has been surrounding, do we still want to put this guy that eliminates people with the use of his rifle with extreme prejudice? Maybe
Netflix,
yes. Maybe
do we really want to endorse a man brandishing his own brand of justice by going to your local gun store and deciding to save the world one body and one shell equally at a time?
Literally. And Netflix said yes. They said, we're not all just made of a house of cards. We know how to put some punishment out there too. And they already punished Kevin Spacey to the extreme level, so they're just going to go ahead and let the Punisher take over the rest.
Netflix said, you're just a beat writer. Controversy sells, kid. Print it.
Tell your story walking.
I'm telling you, dude. Netflix is killing it.
Dude. Oh, man. Golly.
I'm telling you.
And as another coming-of-age story here, not to take too many stabs at Kevin Spacey, but
Man.
This
Man,
one
you just completely buried that lead, huh?
Whip it out. I'm Kevin Spacey. We're just gonna go ahead and call it what it is. I am a little sad to jump into this rabbit hole that they even. I'm glad that they even tried to see what they could do with House of Cards, but it was announced earlier this week that they are shutting it all down. Like it's not even. They're not even trying to spin off. They're not even trying to read. It's just done. And you know, like. It kind of reminded me of when my two experts, my co-captains here, told us that season 5 was already enough. So,
yeah,
I appreciate you leaking that story about Kevin Spacey so it could change all this. BK, good job.
I'm telling you, like, no, seriously, like, we already was saying this. I mean, House of Cards was already on its way out, and it's very possible that the studio realized, hey, this is our out. We don't know how to end the series in a way. I mean, there's so many. We've been seeing this. We saw this with Zack Snyder and the whole Joss Whedon announcement. You know, these studios are ruthless, man. They will find a way to get rid
out
and save studio dollars. Exactly, man. It definitely hit them with the little teacup action. Exactly.
That's right, man.
Exactly.
Makes me think that scene with Frank Underwood with Meacham in season 1 was really just Kevin Spacey being Kevin Spacey. You know what I'm saying?
And we're back from a technical difficulty.
All right.
Oh, okay. Is that what we doing now?
That's what we do.
Jake!
Oh, Jake! I'm putting cases on all you.
All you suckers.
All you suckers. But John Bernthal, we'll get back on track. We'll re-rail this train. He is a perfect Punisher. He is a perfect Punisher. He plays this part legit. We've known this through the Daredevil season 2 that this guy, no offense to Tom Jane back in, what was that, 04, 05, somewhere around there. But no offense to it, but he's the Punisher to me. I can't see him as anything else. He's just
Thomas Jane.
This is him.
Thomas Jane, Thomas, you talking about, okay.
Yeah, I was saying it, just the actor comparison. What this guy invokes.
What really grinds my gears, okay?
Grinds my gears.
About the original Punisher live action was that John Travolta's presence really kind of destroyed that film. I thought it was a pretty good film. I thought
if they had more of like a B actor as the villain.
I was gonna try. I was gonna try to defend the movie. I was gonna try. I can't. I ran out of steam. I can't.
It would have been a good made-for-TV movie. You're right. It was a good made-for-TV movie.
Lifetime.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was, man. I watched that a few months back.
A story about a lovelorn woman who has an idea that her neighbor is up to something not so savory, and one night in a fit of passion, she goes next door and watches him crash men's skulls in, and they fall in love.
Boom. Hey, man, it's every woman's dream. What else do you need? Hey, at least he does it to other men and not to me. That's why it was a Lifetime movie. That's a little abusive Lifetime humor for you there. That's what that was.
Man, speaking of abuse, Netflix has some other abusive titles going on. We're in this nice afterglow of Halloween. It is not quite Turkey Day yet. If you're a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas, my conspiracy theory is that The Nightmare Before Christmas is really a film about how there's this time between Christmas and, well, actually, the time between Thanksgiving and Halloween where you kind of don't really want to do anything. You don't really want to work. You're ready for that next holiday, but you don't know what to do. You feel festive about something, but you can't figure out which one to put the nail on. Well, Netflix gives you the answer because, as we spoke about last week, there's all kinds of murderous intent series that are scrumptious on-demand viewing. Derek, you told us about one at the end of the episode last week, and I binged watched all of it right after the show.
All of it? All of them?
All of them. Take it away, man. Tell us about it.
Oh, well, this is, like I said, I'm definitely going to give credit to Nate here again, because he's the one that originally told me about it. But Manhunt, this is Manhunt. This is the one with what's his name? Good Lord, can't think of his name.
Sam Worthington.
Yeah, Sam Worthington.
Marcus
Paul
Wright.
Bettany, and this. Yeah, this.
Yeah, that amazing Boston accent.
I'm Marcus Wright.
The worst Boston accent ever.
But yeah, this follows the actual profiler who changed the game on even trying to figure out a serial bomber that they had titled the Unabomber. And he really, I really appreciated how dedicated he was as this character. Like, I felt for him. I know that I felt like I could totally relate to because he, to the people out there who have not watched this, he came up with a different profile than what they're listening. My apologies, I misspoke. He came up with a different profile than what the FBI had described the Unabomber as. Completely different, challenging the system completely. First of all, and especially at that time in the mid '90s, they didn't know what to do with the Unabomber because there was just nobody like him. Right. So this guy really invents a whole segment of how to actually figure out this particular guy by calling it forensic linguistics and actually just reading letters, and he correctly profiles them. And I just remember feeling like I could relate to this guy when you know for a fact in your heart and soul, and you've done the research and you've put all the pieces together, you just haven't come up with a way to describe it to another human being. Well, that's what he did, and called it forensic linguistics, and properly profiled this guy, stormed in there, put that name on the board. And man, I love seeing the interactions of Paul Bettany and Sam Worthington in this show. What about you, B?
Man, what I love, there's two things I loved about the show. The first is something that Nate always hits on. Nate loves the resolution of how things happen in reality. And this guy is this great hero, and he did this thing. If it was not for him, the Unabomber would still be bombing people probably to this day. And
to this day, no lie.
And he has no one who cares about him.
No
Nate,
one.
What did you feel about that? About him losing
real
his
life.
family over this thing?
Yeah, it was almost irony at its greatest. I don't know. I had, when did...
It was life, man.
We were young when the Unabomber stuff was happening, and I had no idea until I watched this show that he had been doing this for, 20 years or so.
Dude, I thought he had killed only 10 people. This dude killed so many people and maimed it blew my mind.
Yeah. And
did you get it in the mail? Come on, man. Boom.
I'm sorry. It blew me away, man.
Oh! Jesus. God. Explosive diarrhea. Never mind.
Man, Nate, I'm sorry.
No, so the ending of it all, where he sort of tricks them into pleading guilty, and him realizing he might be very well a genius, and probably a lot of the stuff he says has some sort of merit to it, but no one's listening to him. To this day, I haven't thought about the Unabomber since 20 years ago when I heard he finally got caught. So I think, and probably a lot of, common societies, it feels the same way. If anything, you should be happy this show came out.
Dude, and it was crazy to me I can't get my mind around the fact that no one else thought that this linguistics theory had wings to it. You're
Literally.
You're watching it, and it makes so much sense to you while you're watching it. It's how can people not get it? I don't know. That kind of is weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
What I totally agree with you, because I had kind of this thought, same thing with Mindhunter, because I'm this makes perfect sense for how this is, but we're exposed to 40 years of like genius police guys that have been trying to put these things together, thanks to that gentleman who actually tried to bring all these correct profiles together, just with the Unabomber, just learning all the things, how they did it. Like, I really appreciate that. And like you said, Nate, with the resolution, BK, you bringing that up, it's real life. He was obsessed over this, and he literally gave up every single thing in his life to do this. And he consequently saved hundreds of unknown lives. He could have still been doing this. I mean, what if the Unabomber was caught just 3 years ago? Just look at the pattern, man. This guy was perfect. He was perfect at what he did. It only took another off-the-wall genius to even find him. And what's crazy is all the geniuses that looked through his paperwork that completely dismissed it.
Yeah.
And for how many years? How many years did it take for somebody to be like, maybe it's this, and it still was only because of him. Like, he really, and the people he stepped on to get there. Shout out to a girl who lost her job. Like, he could have just said, hey, without her
at all.
Just gone. Just gone.
No resolution at all.
He had a box. All she had was a busket, and she had to leave. He didn't even fight for her.
Well, you did.
You did kind of violate.
Oh my god!
I'm like, he hit her with the company policy. He hit her with the company handbook talk.
I need to see a Thug Life with the sunglasses meme of that moment.
Deal with it. Like, I halfway thought that he was going to be like, you know what, Chief? Like, really, we wouldn't have figured this out without her. Nope. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Here's what
that was real life. That was real life for her.
No, the comedy of that scene. I know it's not supposed to be comical, but it's like,
but when you're a sociopath.
He walks out of the office. He goes, "Hey, the chief wants to talk to you." So, what, did you sign me out?
No, and he just walks off, and he just keeps walking. He just keeps walking. And then the next scene, she just got her stuff walking out.
Oh,
well, you don't care about the people. Well, you did violate company policy. Like, you did.
What I love is they kind of imply that she's the one that broke the news to the press, though.
Yeah.
Like, someone from the inside told CBS or somebody like that. Like, I thought that was kind of justice for the whole situation.
Oh, man.
Because it forced them to have to get the work done. So,
yeah.
Man.
Exactly.
And then the second thing that I thought was amazing about this was Paul Bettany's acting, man.
Man. I had such a man crush on him. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Like, first of all, I did a lot of research.
Hold on. Nate's face when you said that.
I mean, I would understand if he even played an attractive character in this show.
No,
this man is unkempt.
I think it was the wild pixie dancing that he did in the forest. That guy
did it for me. Yeah, that's definitely what made
some
my
sort
pants
of
smaller.
Awoke some sort of carnal urge in Derreck.
Not the physicality of Paul Bettany. If you don't quit interpreting dancing over there, shut it down. Quit looking like Enchantress. Shut it down.
Vision. Let me give you a little bit of my mind stone.
Oh my god. So I was attracted to the intelligence of Ted Kaczynski, as I was clearly stating before these jokers over here undermine my point perfectly and beautifully.
You want to get your power glove on him, man?
Beautiful. Yes, that's right. Cue knife party right now. Power glove. No, just Ted Kaczynski. Like, I did some research on him. That was great, guys. I'm so glad that I was a part of that. That was beautiful, gentlemen, on both of your parts. It was a symphony. Just honestly, how Paul Bettany plays Ted Kaczynski, I was just that much more curious about Ted Kaczynski, and then went and did some research, and just on he outsmarted his professors to where only 2 of the top 5 mathematicians in the world could understand the mathematics he was talking about. Now think about that. That is, of the smartest people on the planet, we have a designated few that are mathematician experts, and of those, the top 5, it took number 1 and 3 to understand what he was talking about. Like, that's incredible to me. Like I feel like and this, media is all guilty of this, of dumbing down the parts that really are the most interesting parts of a story.
Yes, exactly.
Like, I remember as a kid, I believed that the Unabomber was some generic nobody who just sent bombs in the mail. Like, I didn't realize that we were dealing with a guy that had 168 IQ, that out-taught his professors, that went to college as a teenager and has degrees on degrees. He's a thermometer because he has that many degrees. I don't care how cheesy it is.
They also get into like his lack of social skills, and then
just like what he gave up in essence to get all that intelligence. He gave up social.
And if you don't quite understand anything of what Derreck is saying, think about this. Think about sending cookies and treats in the mail to a loved one. Think about how much those pieces crumble up and no longer resemble what they are. Think about how sensitive mail items are. Okay? Now imagine constructing a bomb that is so well constructed that it does not explode no matter how many hands touch it until the exact moment that you put the right amount of pressure to open it up.
Like,
he did it with mathematical precision. That is so frightening.
Mm-hmm.
It is so frightening.
He applied mathematics to bombs the way Walter White applied chemistry to meth. But he really existed. You know what I mean? Like,
and that is actually why Walter White's makeup was made to look exactly like Ted Kaczynski, because that is exactly who they were modeling the Walter White's progression after.
Absolutely, man. And it's just a fascinating story. So, a lot of these people, just like, if I'm going to change gears here, just to kind of, this is a good segue into Mindhunter.
Oh, well, hold on. Before you do that, shout out to MK Ultra. Shout out to MK Ultra, though.
Yes.
Y'all don't know about MK Ultra?
Maybe I just don't know. Go ahead.
If you're a conspiracy theorist, you know about MK Ultra. Oh. MK Ultra is the actual government program that was constructed to find superheroes, to find people who actually had superpowers in the real world. The FBI, all of these clandestine organizations, the CIA, they actually postulated that people with mind powers.
I have a book this thick. Yes, I can't believe that. I'm so sorry. This is one of the. Yes.
Thank you. Exactly. Sorry. I know you know better. Okay. MK Ultra. They said in this series that Ted Kaczynski was a specimen of MK Ultra. That blew my mind. I was like, what? They created a real supervillain. They created a real supervillain in real life. I was like, oh my goodness, it's Mr. Glass.
Oh, it's you just saying Mr. Glass. Did you say that for a particular reason because you happen to see something this week too?
Well, go ahead, laying up on me, man.
No. I only have a few bits of information. I can't just be busting that out. That was just me asking.
Hey, you segued. Go ahead and get it.
No, you can't do this to me. I don't want to be on stage. I don't want to be on stage.
You're the one who did it. Come on.
I was asking if you were. I wasn't
actually
mentioning it.
I wasn't.
All right. Well, I heard that Glass, the beloved Elijah Price, with that Frederick Douglass hair from Unbreakable, is getting his movie in 2019. And with the M. Night Shyamalan director, and especially with Split mentioning this is right on the heels of Split mentioning Unbreakable's character, which I can't think of, David Dunn. David Dunn in Unbreakable.
Yes.
His character being in Split. So this is right on the heels of that. So it's almost as if they planned it. But anyway, I thought that's what you were mentioning when you said Mr. Glass. But yeah, Samuel L. Jackson is reprising his role as Frederick Douglass. I mean, Elijah Price, Mr. Glass. With that hair, though, man, just you're obviously his hair never broke, as thick as that was.
Hair never broke.
Anyway, don't you just see? This is an example. This is an example of when he wasn't listening. Let me repeat the last thing that Derreck said. No, I'm kidding, y'all.
But it kind of was. Broke, but his mind surely did. And when a man's mind breaks, it's time to find a hunter of that mind. The Mind Hunter.
That was so beautiful. That was beautiful. That was. I need to clap on that one. That was getting
Let's get it. Mind Hunter.
Yeah, you lead this off, man. You kicked off, man. Get on this one, man. Or you want me to roll with it? You're looking at me like you want me to roll with it. I'll roll with it. All right, yeah. Holding forward. Bill Tench. Bill Tench sounds like such a great FBI cop name. Like, I love that his name was Bill Tench, and the actor who played him. But Mindhunter, this actually goes off the story of the FBI agents, and I was surprised that this was set in the late 70s, because I would have thought that this would have been a little earlier, but this also tells you how far ahead serial killers were than the FBI if it took to the late 70s to put this stuff together. But they actually formulate a team where they begin to profile possible serial killers, or as they originally started calling them, sequence killers. But these two guys take it upon themselves to actually go interview real life serial killers behind bars, just to see how they act, see how they talk, see how they describe their heinous crimes. And then these guys start usually getting a one-off from the local police force to go look into that may be a little odd, but then they start actually applying these these interviews and what they've learned from these guys to actually kind of figure out who's actually doing these crimes, or what type of person would be doing these crimes, and actually help solve a few cases while they're on the road traveling. A lot of travel. But as we saw with Manhunt, these guys give up a lot in their personal life to be good at what they're doing over here, and this was the case with both of these main characters. Leading to that heartbreaking moment where Holden actually had to profile his girlfriend to a breakup. Perfectly to a breakup on the porch. So what'd you bring me here for? Oh.
Like, he tells her that's what she's about to do.
Right? Maybe you didn't realize.
Is that what I'm doing? I'll get my clothes later. Like I feel like that's a Family Guy joke waiting to happen.
Right?
I need to see a Sherlock Holmes version of that scene, like the greatest detective in the world when he breaks up with a woman. I love that. But no, Mindhunter was amazing, and please tell me you guys already knew who the secret serial killer throughout the entire series was without having to look online. If you had to look online to get it, you can't answer right now. Tell me if you are a true... Derek, you went to the Museum of Death with me. Mm-hmm. Okay? We are fans of course. Not fans of people dying, but definitely the mind state of serial killers. So, yes. I'm just going to move on because I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable listening to this. We embrace life and death. Anyway, anyone else? Did anyone guess it before the end of the series was up?
Who is it? Which secret serial killer?
You didn't get... Have you watched Mindhunter?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care for it too much. Like, it took me maybe like 3.5 weeks to finish. There are some episodes where I didn't watch the end because I fell asleep and I just skipped to the next one. After watching Manhunt, this one kind of sucked. There was really no point. Every episode was just them fucking talking to people. They try to... They try to throw in little bits of fucking drama in there, to make you feel like you care, but come on. I don't give a fuck about that principal. I don't give a fuck about his relationship. I don't give a fuck about him going to the ethics board because of how he's interviewing these people. I don't care. Quite frankly, I don't even care to see a second season. Woo! What are you gonna throw at me? Oh, let's interview 12 more people. They're gonna love this.
Wow.
Let's interject it with little bits of drama. He's going to get another girlfriend. No, let's throw a baby in there.
Dude, that sounds like, what he reminded me of right then when he said that, had that little imitation. It reminded me of the College Dropout when Kanye West is talking about, then you're going to go to college and you're going to get another degree. And then you go to college and you're going to get another degree. And then by the time you do that, then you'll finally be able to get a manager job at a McDonald's somewhere. I love the...
It's such an inferior series because there doesn't feel like there's a point to this.
The Player Way.
And after watching Manhunt first, that was a much better show.
See, that's the thing. I watched Mindhunter first, and I thought Mindhunter was just kind of slow, but I'm very interested, so I was interested in the topic. Yes. Manhunt had a lot more action. The only thing I didn't like about Manhunt was the quick cuts to obvious commercial. I hate that quick fade to black. That bug, but I knew it was on Nat Geo or something. But I will
Discovery
say that,
Channel.
Yeah, Discovery. I will say like Mindhunter was slower. However, I felt that the content, there was so much more content. They had a lot of serial killers to even deal with, like some of these guys, like a broad spectrum. But if you watch Manhunt first,
hold on a second. Let me make sure something. Nate, you do know that these serial killers are real.
I understand. I get it. I completely understand that. But to me, there's no point in the story. If I'm going to watch 3 seasons of them just fucking interviewing people, like, go fuck yourself. You know, it's
like a docu.
I guess, but not a good one. Then you might as well have gotten the real fucking people, like, and how to make a murder and all that.
Get another day, another dick out.
Yeah. Just you might as well do the real people. This is like I don't know. There was just no conflict for me. It was thrown in there, and I didn't really care about it. I mean, well, there you go. You guys seem to enjoy the show, so that's my piece.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't.
I am curious. Who was the secret? Who was the secret serial killer?
Well, I feel like hold on.
Wait, which one was
I feel like the point of a reveal to Nate's gonna be like, huh, how about that? Like, you know what I
mean? Which one was it?
BTK, though. BTK.
Like, these were the last few episodes?
No, BTK, at the beginning of every episode, there was this guy with glasses. He was like in an ADT serviceman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see him doing different things. You see the progression of him.
Interesting.
Yeah, man.
No, he was in every single episode. Yeah, just like installing security things.
Exactly.
And but he was as BK was saying, he was the BTK killer.
I mean, I don't know the movie serial killer roster.
All right, and that is the alarm, and that means we are at the end of our 60 minutes rather. Guys, we got a lot of blitzcast stuff. Every week we come back and we're going to give you as much information as we can in 60 minutes,
like
so we can help you curate your help you curate your media the what?
The player way.
That's exactly right. So shout out to my co-captains, Derreck.
That's me, corrupting the system the corrupting. Other random words here until Brian cuts me off. Oh, I meant to say BK. Who knows what I'm going to say next? And looks like
Nate.
That's me. Obviously not a very big fan of Mindhunters.
Put a stamp on it. Put some respect on that name.
So what you guys can expect us next week is we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about whoever won the gentleman's bet from this week. And we got a couple of more things coming up. We're probably going to talk video games next week. I did play Super Mario Odyssey this week, so I got a little bit of notes about that. So we'll definitely be coming back and showing you how to do your media and curate it the player way. But if there's nothing else for the good order,
there's one thing good for the order. There's one thing good for the order. Almost keeping a perfect sequence of what kept us good for the order last week.
Boom.
Was I must say congratulations to you, BK, and your Atlanta Falcons as they decimated my Cowboys, which are obviously missing Tyron Smith the most and Sean Lee the most, besides also Ezekiel Elliott. So congratulations to that victory. Apologize for the one extra thing, but that was it. I had to at least give you that props because I mentioned it last week. So, and I see you rep that hat so beautifully.
Absolutely.
So beautifully. So, all right. I shall back into the bushes. And give you 50
back in
feet.
The bushes, and we will all back in the bushes. Thank you guys for listening to the Player Way podcast. We come back every Friday and help you understand how to curate your media
the player way.
So we're going to get the hell out of here. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to the Player Way podcast. Recorded in a single take from Los Angeles, California, Dallas, Texas, and Atlanta, Georgia, by Nathan Peterson, Derek Lewis, and BK Jackson. Our opening theme is titled Bound by Ricky Remedy, courtesy of Elysian Records, and our closing theme is titled Coconut King Diaries by Xander, spelled Zahnder. You can find this music by both Ricky Remedy and Xander, and many more tracks on SoundCloud. And remember, no matter what choices you make or paths you follow, just make sure you do it the player way. See you next week.